Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, the battle for control over Maricopa County elections continues. Also tonight, controversy following gold medal wins by the U.S. men and women's hockey teams, and a milestone for an organization dedicated to treating teen mental health and addiction issues. Those stories and more next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your public television station.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Steve Goldstein in for Ted Simons tonight. The countdown to primary season is on, but the legal fight between the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors and County Recorder Justin Heap is ongoing. It is still unclear who will control county elections. Here to discuss is Maricopa County Board of Supervisors Chair Kate Brophy-McGee. Thank you for being here. Good to see you.
Wonderful to be here.
So let's go backwards a bit from the most recent news. Okay. What did you make of the recorder's response to the board's approach? And this is especially related to the number of potential early voting sites. That seemed to be some confusion.
That's a kind way of putting it. It's behavior I've seen before. What is important is to understand that it's political posturing on Mr. Heap's part. At the end of the day, we're focused as a board on conducting elections in which voters can participate wholeheartedly and feel very confident of the outcomes.
So we have, because of legislative action and a signature by the governor, we have reached a stage this year where the primaries are moving up,
right,
which means there's even more of a deadline and more pressure on the county. So where are we right now? Are there deadlines built in where you and your fellow supervisors and then the recorder need to really agree on something post-haste?
Well, and actually what the furor was in social media land it had to do with the selection of early voting sites. It was misinterpreted as a voting plan or elections plan. It was not. It was simply an invitation from us and our elections department to participate in the selection of sites for Election Day and include the recorder's office for early in-person voting, which is his responsibility according to statute.
Okay.
I'm super happy to report that we met last Friday and we have met again this week. The recorder's staff and our staff, I cannot say enough about Maricopa County staff, and we are finalizing early in-person voting sites along with our election sites.
So if we look behind the scenes, the staffs are working well together. That's
yes.
why I bring back political posturing. So you think there's a tendency to grab for headlines as opposed to the work being done behind the scenes?
I can only speculate, but there certainly appears to be a tendency to do that. We have very tight timelines, as you pointed out, because of the moved up date. And so we've been working very hard to ensure that we meet those deadlines, and I think we're on track to do so.
Does the system work in the way it is right now and the way it's intended? Because there is Scott Jarrett, who essentially works for the supervisors, or works for the county. He is, and then we have the county recorder, who's an elected official. Does the current system have the potential to work well and not have some of this unintended, or maybe intended, but not productive infighting?
Well, what I can tell you, and a lot of people don't know, we conducted 4 successful smaller elections last year, from the CD7 jurisdiction election and then also an all-county mail-in ballot election. So those staffs have worked together on 4 different elections. This is our biggest challenge so far, but we have very experienced election staff that know what they're doing. The recorder has staff who are very experienced and know what they're doing. And I can report that they are working together, and I could not be more gratified.
And you're optimistic that things will get settled in time to run a smooth election again?
Yes, okay. Absolutely. And our board has set a goal of voter experience being maximized, election results being trusted, and maximum election integrity. And that's the track we're on, despite what happens in what I'm calling Twitter land or social media fantasy world.
But that does generate a lot of noise. And so yes, sometimes people listen to that noise. So I'm wondering, does that concern you from the standpoint that even if things are working well, it's a fairly good machine that's going on here, and yet there are going to be some people who are going to question things thinking, well, wait a second, is the Board of Supervisors trying to get away with something that they shouldn't be getting away with? Even if that's not true, does that concern you that there is that perception?
It always concerns me. A lot of people don't understand the difference between sound bites and governing. I do, my colleagues do, and that's what we're focused on. In our level, as county supervisors, we implement Arizona state law. And we know that, we're focused on that, and yes, there's the political stuff out there, but it's not something I'm focused on at the moment. And I'm glad to report that the cooperation is proceeding as it has in prior elections.
So forgive me for sticking with the political stuff just
Please.
for another moment. Did you anticipate any of this? And I ask it in this way because in the past when Adrian Fontes was county recorder and the majority of the supervisors was Republican, people expect there to be some back and forth. I don't know that necessarily people would have expected, oh, there's a Republican recorder, majority of the board is Republican. They'll probably get along most of the time. Did you anticipate maybe there was trouble brewing?
Truly, I did not know what to expect because every elected official has their fiefdom, has their area of expertise and control. I was concerned because Justin Heap is brand new at this job, and so it has taken some bumps and some adjustments. But voters come first, and that is who we're focused on. And they really, truly don't want to hear about it. They just want the elections to work, and that's what we're going to have happen.
Let me follow up in the experience point of it, because you and your colleague Supervisor Lesko have a lot of experience in politics.
Yes.
I mean, she was a member of Congress, you were a member of the state legislature, she was as well. So is there a feeling that the two of you were coming forward, and the rest of your colleagues, but the two of you in particular were coming to the recorder's office saying, you know, we have some experience, maybe we can talk about these things as opposed to it being in the Twitterverse. Did you go forward to him or his office and say, we want to work with you?
Well, that occurred, that reaching out, and it continues to occur. Even if you go back a couple of weeks when we adopted a resolution which iterated our 3 board policies. This is what we intend to do. You will be in charge of early in-person voting like it says in statute. We are in the process of separating our IT systems. So the recorder has his part and we have our part. And we are here to accommodate your budget requests as they come forward. Right after that, we approved a $550 million allocation to the recorder to implement his new signature verification process. We put our money where our mouth is, and we're focused on great elections.
I wish we had more time, but Supervisor Kate Brophy-McGee, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Appreciate it.
I learned at an early age that food is best when shared. To invite my friends to cook with me is something I treasure.
Fantastic. I learned from the best.
Cooking with legends, Lydia.
And Jack.
Salute.
Thursday night at 8 on Arizona PBS.
Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing.
A special celebration of American folk music.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I know you by a friendly face. There's a meeting here tonight. There's a meeting here tonight. Great God.
Thursday night at 9:30 on Arizona PBS.
Join us for 50 years with Peter, Paul, and Mary.
If I had a hammer,
It's an anniversary special featuring America's favorite folk group, singing the songs that changed history and became the soundtrack of our lives.
Thursday at 11 on Arizona PBS.
This past Olympics, both the U.S. men's and women's hockey teams brought home gold medals, but there's been controversy over the levels of attention and respect the men's team has been given compared to the women's team, not the least of which includes President Trump implying he would, quote, probably be impeached if he didn't invite the women's team to the White House, which resulted in laughter from members of the men's team. Here to tell us more about this disparity is ASU sports historian Victoria Jackson. Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Steve.
And before we get started, let's see the clip from President Trump talking to the men's team.
What would really be cool, and we'll do the White House the next day, we'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay?
Okay, so what's your first reaction to that? We know President Trump has his own way of speaking. Some people were offended by the men's team laughing. What did you make of all that?
I mean, my heart went out to them because they were put in this situation. They didn't create this situation. And you heard the 2 for 2, 2 for 2, right? This is a team that understood that they completed the sweep for the first time in history, more so than any of what else we saw there.
So big picture, how much, I think when we think of the Olympics, people focus a lot on the individual sports, even though there are some obviously very important team sports here. Is there a feeling that there is a growing respect for women athletes when it comes to Olympic sports generally, but maybe we're still on a learning curve when it comes to women in team sports?
I think this moment was an outlier. I think these teams have equal respect for each other. You know, Hillary Knight, the captain of this women's team that scored the goal to equalize it so that they could win in overtime. This is her 5th Olympic medal. I mean, there's a lot of respect for these athletes. And, you know, we have generations now. The Olympic program is almost equitable, and so we see that in the medal table. You know, the women are winning more medals than the men are as a result of them having the same number of events now. And that's also a kind of a product of the U.S. being the place where the world comes to develop and train. So all these athletes know each other. They're teammates on college teams. They're teammates in professional leagues. That's on the men's side, and it's especially on the women's side.
Well, it also, and you mentioned this as well, it does seem like there is a mutual love and respect between the men's teams and the women's teams. Did you get a feel for how the women's team reacted to, again, going back to that clip we had, even though there's some, as you said, 2 for 2, was there a feeling that the women would have reason to be offended by President Trump's approach?
I think fans of women's sports, understandably, they want to protect the people they love. And this is what we've seen time and time again, where it's not just that you go out and compete, you also have to create a learning experience out of it all. And, you know, we've seen generations of athletes in women's sports take on the responsibility of educating publics about the awesomeness of women in sport. This is another one of those moments. You know, I've already mentioned Hillary Knight, but, you know, she talked about how, like, yeah, this is our responsibility. We're used to it. This is what we do as athletes in women's sports. We educate. What I think we've also seen in this case is a number of members of the men's team saying we shouldn't have reacted in that way. We apologize. That's not who we are. And so that's been nice to see too. We also saw a kind of continuation, like this narrative is ongoing. Saturday Night Live, and you know, the star of Heated Rivalry, Connor Story, during his opening monologue, has both 2 of the Hughes brothers and also Megyn Keller, who scored the winner for the women's team, and Hillary Knight there. And the women were able to make a joke about inviting the men along to the SNL appearance too, right? So,
well, I'm glad you mentioned the Hughes brothers because their mom is also a former star hockey player.
Yeah, Ellen Hughes was a member of the coaching staff for the women's team. So we have this really cool mother-daughter scenario. Of course, she couldn't compete for the U.S. in an Olympics because it wasn't on the program yet for women. Like, we aren't far removed from this moment in history. But now, as a member of the coaching staff, she's earned an Olympic medal.
So, big picture, when you would talk to young people, young women in particular, is there something that young women can take away from this in particular, knowing how important athletics has been in your lives and how big an impact athletics can have on young women's lives as well? Is there, I mean, there's a big picture. There was a gold medal victory, which we should be focused on most of all. But is there, again, I want to keep coming back to sexism, but is there, even if we have less of it, is it still an overarching problem that comes to this sort of thing? And how would that affect maybe even their perception or, I don't know, self-reliance that some young female athletes might feel in this circumstance?
Yeah, I think there's so many different ways to see how we've hit kind of a pivot point in history when it comes to women's sports. And I actually want to talk about women's sports media as my way of answering this. They became a protagonist in the Winter Olympic Games themselves. And there was this great AP News story looking at all the different women's sports media outlets that were there covering the games, including Sarah Spain, who is the host of the first ever daily women's sports show, the Good Game with Sarah Spain show. And, you know, I think that stuff matters because it's naturalizing and normalizing that we're all playing sports, right? Like it's not men's sports and then the women came later. It's like we're all playing here now. And with the Olympic program being equitable and the events offered, we're almost there.
Yeah.
We've got one more to add in Nordic combined. But yeah, I think, this generation of young people who are growing up and being exposed to, professional women's sports, college sports at a level that is just excellent when it comes to men's and women's sports. I'm very optimistic about the future. And again, these are outlier moments.
Yeah.
These are relics of the past.
Very, very briefly, should we be optimistic then about the 2028 Olympics and female athletes being even more highly regarded and paid attention to?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Olympic and Paralympic Games coming to the United States, with LA being the host, it's wonderful. This is the third time that LA is hosting. And so thinking as a historian, like thinking about LA 32 compared to LA 84, when we had a lot of women's events added for the first time, like Joan Benoit Samuelson winning the first Olympic women's marathon. I think there's a nice narrative arc there as well, where like LA is going to be the place where this all comes to fruition.
Victoria Jackson, great to see you as always. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
The Autumn, we're mostly farmers. We don't have like a war society. We had to transition into having a war society because of the enemies that were attacking us. That's a new thing that came to us with the Americans. So this is a traditional war club that's made out of ironwood. If you know ironwood, it's very strong wood. This is one of the old weapons, and this was used by the bravest warriors because it's hand-to-hand. It's close combat with the shield and a war club. And so there's a whole ceremony behind warfare to take care of yourself. And that's one of the things that was lacking during the American time, is we lost that ceremony to take care of men that came back from war. So we have a lot of men, even in the modern wars, where we're trying to regain a ceremony to take care of them, clean them from what they've done and have them be good in the community again.
As teen mental health challenges and substance abuse continue to impact families across Arizona, one longtime nonprofit is marking 25 years of prevention and education for both students and parents. Joining me to talk about the organization's growth and mission is newly appointed CEO Sarah Grotto of Not My Kid. Thank you very much for being here.
Yes, thanks for having me.
So for those who may not know, let's just review. What is the focus of the organization? Again, 25 years is an important milestone, but what has evolved? What are you doing extremely well that you would love to do better now?
Yeah, absolutely. So Not My Kid was founded 25 years ago, and our focus is prevention and behavioral health with teens. And so it was actually founded out of a family's personal experience of navigating their teenage son's addiction. And when they were on the other side of that, they looked back and they were like, we had the Not My Kid mentality. We thought, our kid is making straight A's and involved in sports. And so they founded the organization along with a psychologist to help other parents not say Not My Kid, and actually have these conversations with your kid early. And so it was a grassroots prevention organization, and it has evolved over the past 25 years to become a statewide behavioral health provider. So we do prevention, and we've evolved to do early intervention and treatment for kids now.
Wow. If you don't mind, would you mind giving us a brief background of your experience and why this Not My Kid is so important to you, even personally?
It is. I'm very personally connected to the mission of wanting to ensure every kid thrives, and we do that by inspiring positive life choices and using our own personal experiences. So I actually came to the organization when I was in recovery as a young adult, and I was inspired by the mission, and I started by sharing my own story of recovery. And so I would do a lot of presentations in schools all over Arizona for many years, just trying to help kids know you're not alone. If you felt this way, here's what you can do. And then over those years, I've grown and just stayed with the organization, and now I'm a parent of teenagers. And so as I've grown in my role in the organization and most recently stepped into the CEO role, I'm very excited to lead this team and to be able to provide services to this next generation of parents, because I'm right there with them and I understand how difficult it is in the world that we're living in today, and that there is help and hope out there.
Wow. So mental health challenges. Yeah. I'm going to sound like a middle-aged man, which I am. How much of that is caused by social media, cyberbullying, or people wanting to give a certain impression online? Because I know there are so many good things about social media, but when it comes to mental health of young people, how much is it a complication?
It is, and I think we're seeing more and more now. We've been trying to make that connection for a while, but I think just recently more eyes are opening up of how it truly is impacting our kids, whether it's social media, just screens in general, having a telephone or a phone device where they're constantly receiving notifications. There's a big impact that we see on teen mental health. A lot of the teens that we work with that are struggling with depression or anxiety, their phones or social media are directly connected to some of the toxic messaging that they're getting, some of the peers or peer influences, the exposure that they get to either graphic images, inappropriate content, or just connections to substances. Many people don't know, but teens actually can buy and acquire drugs on social media platforms like Snapchat. And so it's this new age that parents these days are having to navigate, and a lot of it does center around devices. And so we are doing a lot of education right now around technology and AI and how teens are using AI to work through their mental health and how dangerous that can be. And so that's a big part of our conversation right now.
Sarah, I just have a few seconds, so this is a big question, but I need you to be fairly short with the answer. Can we be optimistic when an organization like Not My Kid helping kids and helping families avoid these pitfalls? I mean, do you feel good that we're moving in the right direction?
I do. There's so much that we can do, and that's why we exist. Like, we are here to help parents. There's solutions, so if they go to notmykid.org, they can get access to tools and resources.
Sarah Grotto of Not My Kid, thank you so much for being here. Okay. That is all for this edition of Arizona Horizon. I'm Steve Goldstein in for Ted Simons. Thank you so much for watching.
Hello, I'm Alice Ferris, and we hope you enjoyed Arizona Horizon. For more than 40 years, viewers in Arizona have relied on Ted Simons and Arizona Horizon for in-depth coverage of issues of concern to our community. As you are probably